Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I want to be giving my thoughts on Invaders of the Rokujouma Volume 2. Before I start talking about Volume 2, I have to go back and sort of talk about how Volume 1 ended. So hopefully you went and read Volume 1, because if not, what I'm saying probably won't make a whole lot of sense. Or at least watch my video discussing Volume 1. So, at the end of Volume 1, all the girls show up, they all want the apartment that Kotaro has, and they fight for it, and they completely trash the room, and Shizuka, the owner of the apartment complex, sort of comes in, puts a stop to it, and the Corona Conventions are formed, which is basically an agreement saying they won't fight in the room, and instead they'll solve the dispute over who gets to live there through games. And so the room is divided equally among them, and they're all given like a set number of points. First place in the game gets the most points. Second place gains some points. Third place doesn't lose or gain any points. Fourth place loses some points, and then fifth place loses more points. So that's how they're settling their disputes for the room. Also, how Volume 1 ended. Because the room sort of became... There was a lot of ruckus in the room. School became sort of Kotaro's place to relax, where he didn't have to deal with all that. And then Volume 1 ends with all the girls now attending his school. So now he has no place to relax. They're fighting for the room in the apartment, and then at school he has to worry about them there too. Alright, and so that gets us to Volume 2. They're playing their games, trying to figure out who's going to become the owner of the apartment. And so they decide that sort of the amount of points they're going for, or they're fighting for, isn't enough. They want to fight for more. And so at school, there's a sports festival coming up. And one of the events is like a race where all the clubs will participate with 2 members. And so they decide they're going to make that sort of a big competition for them and use it to fight over the apartment with like a bunch of points are up. And so this volume is about, well, it's really just about getting more of the characters we were introduced to in Volume 1, because we get a lot of characters just sort of thrown at us like really quickly, and we don't really get to spend a lot of time with them. So this volume we see everyone introduced last time, they all get a bit more time. The girls that are trying to get the room, we see them trying to, like, they have to join a club now, because Kotaro's already in a club, he's in the knitting club. They have to join clubs, we see which clubs they join, sort of why they chose those ones. And then we see them compete for points for the room. And we get more interactions between them, we see sort of how their relationships are going to play out for the time being, because again, we didn't really get much interaction between just a few of them last time, because they were all sort of cramped in that room, sort of arguing amongst themselves. So we see like Kiriha and Thea, how they act together, and just a lot of that. It's just, this volume is really about sort of getting you used to these characters, getting you to know these characters more, because they were just thrown at you so quick. And it's also just a really silly volume, and probably one of my favorites, because it's just so ridiculous, and like the race is silly, and everything about it is, it's just dumb, and I like silly, dumb stuff. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Invaders of the Rokujouma Volume 2. Maybe I'll come back to do Volume 3 soonish. I don't know, but until then, I'll see you guys later.